For more than 2 years, the world has watched the brutal conflict in Ukraine unfold. We've seen images of destruction, stories of incredible bravery, and a David and Goliath struggle that has captivated global attention. The central question that keeps coming up is this: what has this war done to the Russian military? Have the massive losses in soldiers and equipment permanently crippled one of the world's most feared fighting forces? Or has this conflict paradoxically made them even more dangerous? Today, we're diving deep into this complex issue, looking at the evidence from the battlefield to understand the state of Russia's military, what it means for the future of global security. Let's start with the undeniable facts. The losses Russia has sustained are staggering. Western intelligence estimates, along with open-source data, paint a grim picture. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of casualties, killed and wounded. This isn't just a number. It represents a massive loss of experienced soldiers, junior officers, and specialized personnel. Think about the elite airborne units, the VDV, who were thrown into disastrous assaults at the beginning of the invasion. Like the one on Hostomel Airport near Kichiu, these were supposed to be Russia's best, and they were decimated. Entire brigades that had trained together for years were effectively wiped out in the initial months of the war. And it's not just about people. The equipment losses are equally monumental. Thousands of main battle tanks, from older T-72s to more modern T-90s, have been destroyed, captured, or abandoned. We've all seen the videos of Ukrainian farmers towing away Russian armor. It became a symbol of the early stages of the war. The same goes for armored personnel carriers, artillery systems, and aircraft. Russia's Black Sea Fleet flagship, the Moskva, was sunk, a huge symbolic and military blow. The sheer scale of these losses is hard to comprehend. It's like an army group's worth of equipment being erased from the order of battle. Before the invasion, Russia's military was often touted as the second most powerful in the world, with a reputation for a vast and modernizing arsenal. The initial performance and the subsequent attrition have shattered that image for many observers. So, based on these losses, you might think the answer is simple. Russia's military is significantly weaker, and in many ways that's true. They have been forced to pull ancient TS-62 and even TS-65 tanks out of deep storage. These are vehicles that belong in a museum, not on a 21st century battlefield. They're using less precise dumb munitions because their stockpiles of precision-guided missiles have been depleted. The soldiers filling the ranks today are often poorly trained, mobilized civilians or convicts recruited from prisons. A far cry from the professional contract soldiers who started the invasion. The overall technological edge that Russia was trying to build before 2022 has been severely blunted. They are, by many metrics, a less modern and less technologically advanced force than they were before they crossed the border. But that is not the whole story. War is the ultimate teacher, and the Russian military has been in a brutal, non-stop learning environment for over 2 years. This is where the narrative gets complicated. While they have lost a lot of their best pre-war equipment and personnel, they have also adapted in ways that make them a very different, and in some respects, more formidable opponent today. The Russian military of 2024 is not the same one that failed to take Kyiv in 2022. They learned from their catastrophic mistakes. One of the biggest areas of adaptation is in the use of drones. At the start of the war, Ukraine had a clear advantage with its use of commercial and military drones for reconnaissance and attack, like the famous Bayraktar TB2. Russia was caught flat-footed, but not anymore. They've ramped up production of their own drones, like the Lancet loitering munition, which has proven highly effective at hunting and destroying Ukrainian artillery, tanks, and even aircraft on the ground. They are also using vast numbers of cheap FPV, or first-person view drones, essentially turning hobbyist quadcopters into precision weapons. The sky over the front lines is now saturated with drones from both sides, creating a transparent battlefield where any movement can be spotted and targeted within minutes. Russia has successfully integrated this new technology into its tactics, creating a constant threat to Ukrainian forces. Another critical area is electronic warfare, or EW. In the early days of the war, Russian EW systems seemed clumsy and were often targeted and destroyed, but they've learned and become much better at jamming Ukrainian drone signals, disrupting their communications, and even interfering with GPS-guided munitions like the HIMARS rockets that were so devastating in the summer and fall of 2022. This electronic battlefield is an invisible but absolutely crucial part of the conflict. Russia's ability to contest this space has made it much harder for Ukraine to operate effectively and has neutralized some of Ukraine's key technological advantages. And then there's the brute force of industrial production. Russia has fully transitioned its economy to a war footing. Its defense factories are running 24/7, churning out artillery shells, tanks, and other essential equipment at a scale that the West has struggled to match. While the West debates and slowly ramps up production to support Ukraine, Russia is producing millions of artillery shells a year. This has allowed them to adopt a strategy of overwhelming firepower, grinding down Ukrainian positions through sheer volume of fire. They might be using older, less sophisticated equipment, but they are producing it in massive quantities. This industrial might, fueled by huge oil revenues, cannot be underestimated. They're not trying to be elegant. They're trying to be overwhelming. So, what does all this mean? We have a Russian army that is less modern, with older tanks and less trained soldiers. But we also have an army that is deeply battle-hardened. The commanders and soldiers who have survived this long have an incredible amount of real-world combat experience. They understand the realities of modern trench warfare, drone surveillance, and electronic combat in a way that no peacetime army, including those in NATO, can. They have abandoned the complex, ambitious maneuvers that failed them in 2022 and have adopted a more methodical, attrition-based approach that plays to their strengths: mass and firepower. This is the paradox. The Russian military is not stronger than it was before the war. Its long-term potential has been severely damaged. It has lost a generation of modern equipment and professional soldiers that will take decades to replace, if ever. It has proven that it is not capable of defeating NATO in a conventional conflict. But on the specific battlefields of Ukraine, and in the context of this specific type of war, it has become a more dangerous and effective fighting force than it was 2 years ago. It's like a boxer who has taken a beating and has several broken bones, but in the process has learned how to fight dirty and absorb a huge amount of punishment. A wounded, cornered animal can often be the most deadly. The key takeaway is that we should not make the mistake of underestimating the Russian military's ability to adapt and endure. The pre-war image of a modern high-tech force was a myth, but the current image of a completely broken and incompetent army is also dangerously simplistic. The truth is far more complex. Russia is now waging a war it is better suited to fight, a brutal industrial-scale war of attrition. They have demonstrated a capacity for learning and a ruthless willingness to sacrifice their own people and resources to achieve their objectives. This reformed, battle-hardened Russian military poses a significant ongoing threat to Ukraine and a long-term challenge for European security. Understanding its new strengths and persistent weaknesses is crucial for policymakers in the West. It's not about being stronger or weaker in a simple, absolute sense. It's about being different. The Russian army has been forged in the fires of the largest European conflict since World War II, and that has changed it forever. It's a less polished but perhaps more rugged and dangerous force than the one that rolled into Ukraine in February 2022. The world will be dealing with the consequences of that transformation for years to come. Thanks for watching. You found this analysis interesting? Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think the future holds for the Russian military? We'll see you in the next video.